Hi, Dr. Avneet.
Hello, sir. Hello. Good evening.
Good
Hi,
evening,
good
sir.
evening, Amit.
Good
Welcome.
evening, sir.
Good evening, Amit.
Very good evening, everybody. It's a wonderful Sunday evening.
Hmm.
Good evening, Dr. Avneet. How are
Good
you?
evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Amiji.
Good evening. Sorry, I was on mute.
Good evening, Karthik Nagesh, sir. He has joined also our.
Good evening,
Hi,
sir.
hi, Lalan. Good
Hi.
evening.
Good evening.
Namaskar. What a wonderful program. Thank you. And
Welcome,
you're
sir.
doing great job. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Avneet, namaskar. Amit,
Good evening,
namaskar.
sir. Good evening.
Namaskar, sir.
Thank you. Good. This very interesting.
Good evening, sir. Dr. Santosh Bhargav, sir.
Professor sir, Professor Bhargav sir, Karthik here. Namaskar. Seeking your blessings.
Very good evening to you.
Welcome, Somsekhar.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
So,
evening. Good
how are
evening.
you? All well?
Very
Wish you all the best. Thank you.
नमस्कार सोमशेखर सर, कैसे हैं?
नमस्ते, बस अच्छा हो सर। कैसे
हाय संजय, गुड
Welcome,
इवनिंग.
Dr. Sanjay.
गुड हाय
Good
संजय।
evening.
गुड इवनिंग
Good
आशीष सर।
evening.
गुड इवनिंग कार्तिक सर।
Namaskar, Sanjay. Namaskar. Wish you all the best.
हाँ, हाय सोमशेखर। Trying to figure out. Amit is here?
हाँ,
Yes, sir,
Amit
I am here.
Ah,
He's
like
lighting a globe.
No, I was trying out a night lamp.
Amit। ललन भैया 6 बज गए। शुरू करते हैं टाइम का।
Yes.
थोड़ा सा पार्टिसिपेंट को आ जाने दें.
सर शुरू करते हैं चीजें हमारी जो नॉर्मल बोलना है इतने लोग विल जॉइन पीपल डोंट वांट टू लिसन टू अस वो काम हम पहले कर लेते हैं व्हाट वी लाइक नोबडी लाइक्स
अच्छा.
so let's finish that before they join
Okay.
मतलब रियलिटी तो देखो यही है
हाँ, ये भी हो सकता है कि जिन्होंने 6 बजे डाले उनको ये नहीं पता कि व्हाट वी आर डूइंग।
हाँ, कि अभी तो हमारे सबके लेक्चर सुनने हैं
Hello, sir.
Hi, Harsh. Welcome.
हाय हर्ष।
Hello, sir.
ये हर्ष का नाम प्रोफेसर एमिरेटस हो गया। एआई न्यूरोलॉजी।
AI
एक जगह, he's everywhere.
he's typical what Dr. Girish Gupta calls AI neonatologist So,
नहीं, पर ये पीडियाट्रिक्स में भी है. ये पीडियाट्रिक्स और क्या क्या पता नहीं कहाँ
ये
कहाँ
मैं
है.
कह रहा हूँ, इसका सॉफ्टवेयर है वो ओमनी बस ओमनी प्रेजेंट।
हाँ
कितने लोगों ने मैच देखा, फुटबॉल मैच देखा?
अरे वो
मैंने देखा लेकिन मैं बहुत I was so exasperated by watching Argentina in second half and first half of extra time that I left for rounds at that time.
Oh my God.
And I don't know, they were playing such a lackluster football. And suddenly, as I left, they had a spark and they scored 2 goals.
Now I know whom Egypt have to kill. blame for their loss.
Hey, England played badly, still won. मतलब I was like quite surprised.
चलो
England,
शुरू करो
England
भाई।
is like Argentina will have difficulty in beating England.
Yeah.
I would just confess what is the disclaimer that I am a diehard Argentina fan. So,
Hello, good evening, everyone.
hello
evening,
sir,
sir.
good evening.
सर.
Good evening, sir.
The only
सर अपने
person,
बाल आप white dye करते हो सर या white हो गए हैं? मतलब
नहीं
because
नहीं,
there are
वही कोई मेरे को मानता ही नहीं है, कहते इंटर्न और मैंने कहा अरे भाई वाई डाई करने पड़ेंगे।
Sir is the only well-dressed person, I think. I don't know if anyone else is wearing a tie right now.
See, either there has to be impressive personality, otherwise you have to dress well.
And you have both, sir. Just imagine.
yes,
So, it's all great everywhere.
Yes, sir.
yes
All
sir,
good.
everywhere is all good.
Very nice, very nice.
स्टार्ट कर दें like 40 odd people are joined 45.
Yes, yes, let's join 90. Yeah, they will start joining.
Amit, you can start and then like you're
So
gonna invite them.
I would like to welcome you all on behalf of NNF for this wonderful program, very futuristic program on AI. It is AI is there for us. When it first came over, I was very skeptical, like we all are, for
Yeah.
any new thing which comes over. And Chat GPT was the only one which and I never went on to it. It was only Deepak who made me realize it's such a wonderful thing. Then everybody was started blaming it that Indian pediatrics and all they said कि ये AI से ले रहे हैं, इसको हटाना है, ये it helps you in writing your papers, your thesis. Thesis का criticism सबसे ज्यादा आया था कि लोग आजकल thesis लिख रहे हैं using AI, and now many people are writing review articles using this AI. So it is a new thing, but it is here to stay. It is evolving. What we are learning now may become less useful in time to come. So it is just an initiation, and we will have to keep on updating ourselves. Even NNF may have to revise what we are learning today, probably in next year. And I wish everybody a wonderful, all the participants a wonderful program. I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Santosh Bhargav sir, who is one of the founder presidents and founder members of NNF, and it is always a pleasure to have him. And this all was envisaged and by our president, Dr. Lalan Bharti, and our president-elect, Dr. Som Shekhar. So welcome them as well. And final executors were Dr. Sanjay Wazir, as
Yeah.
he is for most of the NNF programs, and Dr. Avneet, who has done a lot of work in this. And over to Dr. Sanjay Wazir to take it forward from here.
Yeah, thank you, Amit, and good evening, everyone. I mean, it's a pleasure to welcome you all on NNF India course on artificial intelligence in neonatology. This was a course which we, in fact, me and Dr. Girish were having a walk in Neocon in Visakhapatnam on the seaside when he just said that we should probably, and he was written a book on neonatology, artificial intelligence in neonatology. At that time, he said we should probably get it to the all the members. And then having discussed this with Dr. Lalan, who was very enthusiastic and said like we probably should do it because AI is going to help doctors find important information faster, reduce the routine work, and notice risks early. And that is what we are going to at the part of the course. And we're going to have this where we are going to learn how to do a monitoring, clinical decision, record keeping, teaching, research, communication, all those things which we normally do as a course of do a course due course that we do. And when I met her, she was doing these courses across the country, and then like we thought, why not make it specific only for neonatology, because then it will help our newborn parents, patients, and the doctor. So with that, I would love to thank Avneet and Harsh who have contributed significantly, and all the members with of the committee who have helped significantly in doing this. So I invite Dr. Lalan to say a few words. Thank you, Dr. Lalan.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay and Dr. Amit. Respected Chief Guest, Professor S.K. Bhargava, sir, Founder, President of NNF, our Chairperson, Dr. Girish Gupta, our President-elect, Dr. Somsekhar, Dr. Karthik Nagesh, sir, all our EB member, OB member, and the participant joined from across the country, and a state president and secretary who has also joined this program. So very good evening to everybody. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the launch of another proud milestone of National Neonatology Forum of India, the NNF certificate course in neonatology, that is NeoAI. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Professor S.K. Bhargava, sir. Sir, you laid the foundation of neonatology in India and established NNF. Every milestone we achieve today is built on your vision. We are truly honored by your presence and seek your blessing as we begin this initiative. Friends, this artificial intelligence is transforming every sphere of life. And in neonatology, it can enhance learning, research, documentation, and clinical research. But one thing is very clear, AI will never replace our clinician. It can be a tool to support us and help us deliver better care for our newborn. So this course reflects NNF's commitment to equipping our professional member with practical knowledge and a skill to use AI responsibly and effectively in newborn care. So this is a 3 months blended learning program comprising 6 online sessions followed by 1 day hands-on workshop. And Sanjay has already explained regarding the program. So I'm delighted to share that around 90 participants has joined this course, and we had to close the registration earlier than planned. So we will be starting next batch also. So this NeoAI is one of the several initiative NNF launched this year to improve the newborn care through innovation, collaboration, quality, and equitable access to learning opportunity for our member. So over past few months, we have successfully celebrated many program and RP Day, launched evidence-based lactational management course with nearly 500 doctors and nursings are getting trained in that course. And recently, we have also conducted India's first national neonatal transport TOT, where we trained around 60 pediatricians to lead this important initiative across the country. And recently, we have signed a historic MOU with Baba Farid University Health Science for affiliation of our fellowship program. And many other programs also we have started this year, like medical legal cell, and conducted many perinatal synergy workshop in collaboration with the FOXY. And in addition to that, also regularly we are releasing quick reference guideline and conducting monthly OSCE ready and genetic classes. And this year also we are initiating a super specialized quiz for DM and DRNB and our NNF and IAP fellow. So each of these initiatives reflects our NNF commitment to for the improvement of our members this thing. So with that, I extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Gupta, Girish Gupta sir, Chairperson, Dr. Satish Saluja, and for their continued guidance and support, and my heartfelt appreciation to our dedicated coordinator, Dr. Sanjay Wazir and Dr. Avneet Kaur, and all the faculty members whose hard work and commitment have made this program possible. So on the behalf of National Neonatology Forum, I warmly welcome once again all the participants, faculty, and wish you a wonderful learning experience. And over the coming 3 months, thank you all. once again and wishing you a very, very happy learning. So may I now, Amit, may I now request our chief guest, Professor S.K. Bhargava, sir, to formally inaugurate the NNF certificate course, AI in Neonatology, that is NeoAI, by clicking the inaugural button and thereafter bless us with your inspiring address. सर क्लिक करना पड़ेगा बटन को.
Okay, all right. Okay. Give me. Dr. Lalan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Lalan, Mr. President.
Yes, click हो गया
And
sir.
many of my friends whom I have met, and many of them I have not met. Has been a most unexpected conversation with Lalan when he called me 2 days ago, and while chatting with me, asked me if I would like to inaugurate. For some time now, I'm not really participating in meetings. It is not that I've left neonatology. It is that things have changed so much, views have changed so much, thinking has changed so much, and what one feels, priorities and approach has changed so much that one sometimes feels left out or one feels out of place. But I've kept myself quite busy. Now, before I inaugurate, let me say a few words, what you may call a wise man or an old man's advice. You see, I am very, very happy to do this function today for one reason. When I chose neonatology in 1966, when Dr. Ghosh asked me whether I want neonatal unit or I want a general pediatric unit, I opted newborn unit. At that day, till that time, I had never touched a newborn. I had not seen a newborn. I had not worked in a newborn unit, and I did not know what I was accepting. But I knew that it's a branch which is open for work. It is open to challenges. And Dr. Ghosh, still being a well-known neonatologist, being supervising me, I had no hesitation in joining it. So I walked the path. Not only that, I was not familiar with newborn. Even the country at large did not know what is a newborn. You'll be surprised that when I used to go to meetings, even government and international meeting, I had to define what is a newborn. So at that time, newborn it was a totally neglected field in the domain of obstetrician. So when began, we had to begin from defining the newborn, developing protocols, developing every kind of facility to see that the newborn survives. Our major problem, you won't believe, when I took over the nursery, my nurses used to come and cry and say, "Sir, you know what we are called? We are called mortuary nurses." You can understand the pain of a young pediatrician who is himself on a learning path, has to learn and hear those words. It is on those times that me and my colleagues, many of them are still there, tried to build a unit. So it was a pleasure, it was a challenge that we built a newborn care bit by bit. I must acknowledge at that time that there were two other stalwarts, Dr. Papku from Chandigarh and Dr. Sheila Karan from Hyderabad, who were equally interested. So these three, the city of New Delhi, the Chandigarh, and Hyderabad started it. And we went through, believe me, almost everything. You won't believe when we saw We had to warm babies with hot water bottle. We had to repeatedly prick a baby because they didn't want to stay because there were no scale vents. We had to carry baby across the shoulder when the attendant would cough. So we went through almost everything. At all steps we had to innovate. Till the time in 1981, my medical superintendent, Dr. Pramanik, asked me, why do you refuse grants from the hospital not to update your unit? So I said, sir, you offer me 50,000, 1 lakh unit. That won't do anything to my unit. I need large amount of funds to upgrade my unit. So the medical superintendent called me next week, threw the checkbook across the table and told me, write the check. What do you want? That was the beginning when I had to approach countrywide to ask my colleagues, what should I buy? What should I do? And I did not find anyone. I sat with a company representative from AirShield and built my newborn unit. And that was the beginning for intensive care. I was very happy when I chose an open infant care system against that isolate. When I chose portable things across fixings because we could use. There was debate when I rejected isolate against an open infant care because my nurses said, sir, open infant care we can be ready in few hours. A isolate takes 24 to 48 hours. So that was the beginning. And from 1981, when I left 85, I left subdivision. I continued to participate. But at that time, 81, Dr. Bakku, myself, and many others decided that we are not getting anything more new. So we founded the new. And in 1981, we had the first conference at Ames, and when we founded NNF. And despite my refusals, the general body chose me as the founder president. After the conference, Dr. I.C. Verma came to my office and gave me 271 rupees and said, sir, this is the fund you start neonatology. That is the beginning. Then I had a colleague, Dr. Goa. We had to write the constitution. And I narrate when I took the constitution to the Delhi registrar's office, he was sitting in a banyan because it was June month and there were no air conditioning. So when I asked him, where is the registrar? He said, I'm the registrar. So I showed him and he said, your title is national. I need the signature of across the nation. I don't need Delhi wallahs. So in a meeting, I asked obstetricians, pediatricians across. So I had Dr. Mishra, I had Dr. Rao, Dr. Prakash, and from Bombay, and these are the founder members. That was the beginning. Then from 1981 to again we were fighting, and nothing happened. Till in 1995, I was asked by the ministry to write a program. I had my one condition. What will happen if I write a program? You will reject it because you follow WHO and UNICEF. I do not follow international. I'm an Indian. I believe in Indian problem, Indian solution. The Dr. Soke said, no, you write the program. We'll call it the national program. And that's how we got essential newborn care. Now, essential newborn care down to facility-based care, again we had a gap of so many years. So this program, which we have, again came as second or the revival of a step in the newborn care. We are breaking through something which we always believed in our judgments to a science which is so enormous which can be used or abused. And therefore, friends, my advice is what Dr. Lalan said in the beginning. This is a tool. This is not going to replace neonatologists. Please, for heaven's sake, use it wisely, use it selectively, use it to help you, but don't let it ever replace you. A newborn is a human being. The parents, they are human beings. They need touch, they need talk, they need consolation, they need advice. They have to be taught. The machine cannot talk. The machine can obey. The machine can dictate, but machine cannot replace you. So this course, I hope the faculty will force and emphasize that all the learnings that you're going to get in this program is to assist you, not to replace you. So therefore, friends, please, the first or the foremost lesson that I'd like to tell you, please stay with your touch. The biggest advance, which personally I think I have come in newborn, is the touch, the, the realization that we should not separate the baby from the mother. That is why now the concept, as soon as the baby is born, it's given to mother. It is why we have got the mother NICU. Soon we are going to have hardly few intense occasions. Today, whenever I go, they talk of their ventilator. They talk of everything advances which are used in 5 to 10% of patients. 90% of patients don't need machines. They need clinical judgment and application of the tools that we have learned. So, friends, I have great pleasure with this simple advice. I must tell you, I know a little bit of AI. I use it for my purpose, but I have not so far used it to affect my clinical judgment. So I would urge you to use this as and help you advance this to the next stage of a newborn care. The faculty led by Girish, I am seeing after a long time, Dr. Wazir and Lalan, who appeared after many years on the scene, is very dynamic, and I'm sure they will do many more good things on your one care. So I, with very happy mind and blessings, inaugurate this course and on neurology in AI and wish you all the very best, good luck, and every more successful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring words of wisdom, constant encouragement, and blessing. Sir, your vision continue to guide NNF, and your presence today has made this launch really memorable. We are deeply grateful to you, sir, for inaugurating this landmark program. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Over
you so
to-
much.
Thank you. Over to Dr. Avneet and Dr. Sanjay. Sanjay?
Yeah, Avneet, please take over and then you can start the proceedings.
Yeah, so I think before we go ahead with the program, it's my heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished office bearer, esteemed faculty, and all the mentors who took out their valuable time to inaugurate our new AI course, which is a certificate course. And my special thanks to Dr. Santosh Bhargava sir, whose encouragement, his words, his invaluable guidance will always be visionary in our minds, not to leave the clinical knowledge and just use these for adding things to our neonatal care. And also, I would like to give special thanks to Lalan Bharti sir, our Honorable President NNF, for his always unwavering support and his leadership in promoting the innovation, the academics, the excellence for NNF. Really valuable show which is going on, Lalan sir. And also Dr. Amit Upadhyay sir for his constant encouragement, his availability, his commitments, and all the EBOB members who took out their time on the busy Sunday day with us, which is a family day. And last but not the least, my special thanks to all the members of NeoAI course committee who has been there in the background for meticulous planning and eventually coming up of this course. So I would really like to thank Dr. Girish Gupta sir, who has been a mentor, guide. He is the chair of the committee for AI. Dr. Satish Suluja sir, my mentor, and Dr. Harsh Bhyana, who is a walking AI person in this era. And last, definitely Dr. Sanjay Wazir sir, who actually said he met me in a meeting and he said, Avneet, why don't you join us? So special thanks to Dr. Sanjay sir and Dr. Nalini Kant, who is the convener for the course, and all the members of our NeoAI committee, Dr. Mohit Sahani, Dr. Kiran More, Dr. Venkat Kalam, Dr. S. Ramakrishnan, Dr. Ashish Prakash sir, Dr. Dhananjay Mangal sir, Dr. Kedar Sarshleshkar, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Priyanka, Dr. Om Prakash, Dr. Rama Rao Patori, Dr. Gunjana. I think
Wow.
I believe I've taken everybody's name, and if I have missed any, so please pardon me for that. But I think you'll be meeting each one of them in the subsequent classes. And I think the whole thing is that let's embrace this future of neonatal medicine and harness the power of AI to improve the care, but not let it overpower our clinical care. So, with these words, I would hand over to Dr. Girish Gupta, sir, for taking over and taking this exciting learning journey together. So, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Very good evening to all. Let me bow my head to Professor Santosh Bhargava. It is a very special moment for NNF India and for this program because Professor Bhargava has blessed it. Sir, indeed, me as chairperson and all the audience sitting here, we are grateful to you. Even in these few minutes, you have shown us the light, what must be done and what should not be done. I make you a promise, sir, that in my responsibility as a level 2 or level 3 tier guide, I'll continue to pass this message, which you have conveyed very strongly, that we must not forget human touch. Technologies will come, they'll get modified, and one day, one technology will get obsolete. But it is a human touch, the staunch clinical neonatology, which is going to do good to our newborns. So with this promise to you, I move forward for today's program, and here I would failing in my duty if I don't put few names right in the beginning. And in this, I would say that the present NNF office bearers, Lalan Bharati and Amit. Very special thanks to you because you have taken this program head on so that we become contemporary globally, second to none. When anyone talks of AI, the Indian neonatologist should not be left behind. So thank you very much for taking it on. But my heart goes out to Dr. Sanjay Wazir. Sanjay, you have done an exceptional job of drafting this program. You and your team, Dr. Avneet and entire committee, have spent tremendous time. I can see very well that you have put this program with an intention which is going to translate the Indian neonatologists. So very well done. Lastly, I have to make statement about the dear delegates. And it is very heartening to see that around 90 delegates have been registered. which augurs well for future neonatology. I would request NNF office bearers that we should not deny the opportunity for more learners, of course, in a phased manner, and also empower them beyond these formal hours. If they have questions, queries, I'm sure you will open up vistas so that we make them perfect, in my own coin term, neonatologists. And our aim of this program as a chairperson, I can state, is simply to make you practicing AI. And therefore, the talks, today's session, I can say for sure, we are not going to teach you AI, but we are going to lay a foundation of basics of AI today. And in that, my faculty is Dr. Ashish Prakash, who will give you all the essentials of AI, which we use in day-to-day. See, if I talk AI at large, in my opinion, it has two functions. One, to have a large data and then predict, do research, and things like that. For that, our entire system has to get geared up. Sure, it would happen. It has started happening. The second part is that we have so many chat platforms available. So what Dr. Ashish is going to do today, he's going to make us clear that which chat platform to be used and when. And with some cautionary notes, because when there is something new, we go overboard and there'll be a lot of things which could be ethical, unethical. We don't know their accountability. So we would caution about all that. But most importantly, these chat platforms do ego massage. One of them is very, very overt in telling you that you are the best. You could be doing absolutely wrong. And that is what they hallucinate. So I'm sure Dr. Ashish would also talk about and give caution about hallucination and biases. This would be followed by, I will come up with prompts. So these two speakers would give us some basic concepts, which is absolutely essential. We have to know the chat platform to be used and then how to ask them. That's a prompt. So Self and Ashish will share information in a short period of time. But then ultimately role comes of Dr. Rakesh Kumar. He is going to translate our concepts by showing online that how to get the best outcomes in the shortest possible time. So that would be most important event of this evening. And also, he might give you some homework so that you start practicing it. So in short, if I say, we might teach and preach, but Dr. Rakesh will exhibit and show. But the actual translation which would occur when you do it yourself, you practice it. So on the behalf of my today's team, I promise you that we will try to give basic concepts. We'll show you the path. Sorry. Dr. Rakesh will show exhibit, the demo. Very simple, understandable, but it is you who has to practice. With these opening remarks, I wish all the audience the good luck and the great luck. Be very alert for today's talks, because this is what is going to lay foundation. And wish us that we do justice with you in today's talk. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Ashish Prakash.
Thank you, sir. I will just start sharing the screen. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Girish sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay.
You are audible and visible.
Okay. So it is a privilege to be the opening batsman, and that too sharing this session with Professor Girish Gupta, who's a doyen on the subject, and Dr. Rakesh, who will show his mastery once he comes alive. So today, I will quickly move on to the task at hand. And today, in trying to make you understand what AI is, my goal is not to actually make you AI engineer, but by the end of 20 odd minutes, I will probably hope to give you, the goal is to give you a working vocabulary which is fit for a clinician, the vocabulary along with which you will understand what the AI tools are, what they are good at performing, and where do they fail. And also, word of caution, which we have been talking about, to make you aware of the risks that you should be cognizant of and take care of while you use these tools. This term, neonate AIology, which sir mentioned in passing, has been very aptly coined by Professor Girish Gupta sir, and most of us are becoming aware of this. So if we break it up, the newborn artificial intelligence and the study of, that is what it is. And if we were to put it together, it is the disciplined integration of artificial intelligence into the science and practice of newborn care. Now, mind you, there are 3 words in this definition which are the spine of this whole course and which you should remember, which is it has to be evidence-based, safety first, and always under human clinical accountability. So we have to understand that this is not about replacing neonatologists that sir mentioned earlier. It is actually like a tool or a companion, like we have a blood gas machine or ultrasound machine sitting in our unit, which does not control us, but we control it, and it helps us in managing the newborns which we have. For adult learning, it is very important that the goals are clear. What would I take home at the end of this lesson? So there are 6 things which all the people attending the lecture today will take home with them. Number 1, define artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and large language models in plain clinical language. Number 2, distinguish the major types of large language models or LLMs, which I will be referring to every so often, and what each one is good at. Number 3, identify practical applications of AI in neonatal care. Number 4, write relevant, safe prompts for clinical and academic tasks. This is what will be the second part of the lesson, and Girish sir and Dr. Rakesh will take care of that. And number 5, last but not the least, to recognize the risks implicit in the use of this technology, hallucinations, bias, and privacy. Today, to put the things in the right context, we are laying the foundation or the ground on which a building is going to come up in the next 6 sessions. Now, again, we have to unlearn something before we start learning. We should know that we should not confuse language AIs with search engines, because these 2 terms are very often confused. A search engine, which we have learned for many years, it finds the pages which already exist arranged in a hierarchical order. Search engines return the links to the real sources, and it only shows what is already written. And we are left to judge which page to really trust. And if you put in the same query a number of times, you will get the same results every time. Now, a language AI, it generates a fresh answer. If you put the same query second or a third time, every time you will have a different answer. So the output, the information, the language AI can blend, summarize, and draft for you. Of course, you have to finally make a final call of what to accept out of that draft and finally make a final outcome based on what you feel is right. And herein comes the messy part of language AIs, that they can sound right, but can be absolutely and completely wrong. So you cannot click and verify what has been written by language AI. But does it stop the onus of verification? No, actually it shifts the onus more strongly onto the shoulders of a clinician, that he has to verify everything. Every output has to be verified, because here it is lies that we deal with. Now coming to my introduction to this family of artificial intelligence, there are quite a few members here, and some terms are used interchangeably in the common parlance or common usage. To make it simple, let us look at the outer box here, which is the universe, to make it simple. And this universe is artificial intelligence. This refers to machine doing tasks that normally need human intelligence. Coming to the next box, which is like a continent in this universe. This is machine learning. This is AI that learns patterns from data instead of fixed rules given by a programmer. The clinical algorithms earlier on actually were devised by writing rules by programmers, wherein the machine learning makes the rules looking at the patterns. So it learns and makes the rules. Living inside the deep learning is living inside the machine learning is deep learning. This is a machine learning using brain-like neural networks, and these are useful for complex patterns like interpreting images or even speech. Deep inside are LLMs that I referred to. These are deep learning models trained on vast text to understand and generate language. So when we use when we say I was using AI and we use Claude or Chat GPT, we are using this innermost one part of this nested diagram that I showed. This is one application of the AI, which is deep inside. Now, all this vocabulary done, what the language model is actually doing for you. At heart of it, it actually predicts the next word and does it over and over again. Sounds so simple, isn't it? But think of it that if you were to predict innumerable infinite patterns and you stack them over each other, what would it come to? You can utilize this to draft, explain, translate, and summarize on demand. So that is the beauty. Drafts, you can have drafts of discharge notes, parent letters, consent explainers, and of course, each one of that requires you to finalize it. It can explain that if you have a complicated long guideline, it can explain it to you, and a complicated concept can be explained in plain, simple language for us, lesser beings, and maybe even the residents with us. It translates. So much of the medical teaching or a whole of it in India is in English. So when we are faced out in the practical world with parents, we have to explain these technical terms. We need to explain in the vernacular or Hindi language. And this is where this modality can translate for the families. Summarizes, if they're long papers, reports, it can summarize them into key takeaway points for bedside usage. So if we were to actually have a vocabulary of 6 words only from this whole session, which you keep as your personal dictionary for this room that we are in today, these are the 6 words you would remember because they will be referred to during the whole of this course. AI is machine performing intelligent tasks. LLMs, as we said, this is AI that understands and writes language. Very importantly, prompt, which is part of today's talk. These are the instructions that you type into AI, and safe and a structured method, which Sir and Dr. Rakesh will come to, actually will give you a proper answer. If you put in the right prompt, you get the right answer. Old concept of computer teaching used to be garbage in, garbage out. So if you put in a garbage prompt, you can only expect a garbage out. Hallucination, a confident answer, but that is simply and many a times wrong. Now, this is the problem, that this is not a occasional unusual glitch of the system, but it is a behavioral disorder, you can say. So we have to be very cautious as users to be looking out for hallucinations. Context is everything that AI can see in a chat. Iteration refers to refining the answer turn by turn, asking the questions again, refining and defining our question again, knowing fully well that we do not get a perfect answer the first time. Now, these major LLMs are there in families. Each family may have certain characteristics and strengths. So there are reasoning models which do deep thinking, step-by-step thinking. They are best for complex clinical logic, making study designs, designing research protocols, thesis protocols. Then there are fast, lightweight models, which are quick, good for everyday answers. They are good for making rapid drafts, asking simple questions. When we need high volume outputs on a daily basis, which do not require deep thinking, this family is useful. Then there are families which are search grounded, where answers are tied to live web sources. When you have to refer to current evidence, current guidelines, and fast fact checking, then these families are useful. Coming to multimodal LLM families, these can read, they are very versatile. They can read images, PDFs, charts. So we use them for X-ray interpretation, looking at scan pages or figures maybe out of a research paper, and even slides. So what products are available to us today which belong to these broad families? And mind you, the major players today, they are constantly updating their flagship sort of LLM models, and somewhere in time, maybe months, the demarcations may actually get blurred. But as of today, what is the products that are available to us are ChatGPT, which is an all-round drafting and reasoning model platform, Claude, which is very useful for long, careful, structured work. Gemini, which is inbuilt into the Google search. It is a multimodal platform. Copilot, which works with Microsoft tools like Office and Windows. Perplexity gives evidence with live citations. All 5 have got free tiers. Let's compare them head to head in the next slide. I'll go over it a bit slow. ChatGPT, as I said, versatile, strong all-rounder, but it can overconfidently assert even when it is lying. Free tier is a reality here. It has a good free model, but the best reasoning is beyond a paywall. Claude, as I mentioned, for long, structured, careful drafting, but it is inherently very cautious in giving its outputs. It does not have a native image generation. It provides a generous free chat, and usage caps can be reset within hours. Gemini is part of the search tool Google. It is multimodal, but the quality varies according to the task that we ask out of it. There is free access, but deep features are paid. Copilot, it is built into the Microsoft tools like Word, Excel, Windows. But for best value things, you actually need to buy M365. So there is limited free things available, but it shines when you have a license. Perplexity answers live citations. It is briefer, so it doesn't do very deep drafting. But the citations are available. You can click them and see. It is a strong free available tool. And the pro searches are limited to a specific number per day. But there is no single winner. So we have to look at what is our question today and which one to use. There are some other platforms which the other sessions would go over. Now, this is what AI can do. We have got this amount of information that I just mentioned, but if you were to have a point-wise ready reckoner, this sort of a chart you can generate from AI. And before you put in a question, you question yourself, which platform will I use? Current evidence and citations, perplexities. Long structured draft protocols, clinical decision tools, Claude. Quick everyday draft or brainstorming, ChatGPT. Image, chart, PDF interpretation, Gemini. Work directly inside Word or Excel, you use Copilot. Now, if you have enough time, then there are suggestions for even a better use of these platforms. What do? We chain these platforms for a better iteration. So you gather information, use Perplexity for that. You have the current evidence, live citations. You click on them, read them, and you load them, make a draft and a structured output from the Claude, and for which you can use a usual framework or better still, Girish platform or sorry, framework, which will be discussed today. And this output, you put it onto ChatGPT and Gemini for further cross-checking, which will find out the gaps and errors. And again, you fold it back, put it onto Claude, finalize, and finally you have to verify. With lesser time, what I have done, that you use Perplexity to gather information, make a good draft output out of Claude, and you can make another agent on Claude and ask it to cross-check and verify. That also works if you have lesser time. So no single tool does it all. So we have tools with their limitations. If you chain them, then you get a good, strong workflow. Now, if we were to stop here for a moment, the question coming to everyone's mind is, okay, heard this all, but what can I do if I have to start using it today? And what are people, so many people assembled here who are using it, what are they doing? So certain things are already being done very efficiently, and certain things you can start using from today. Parent counseling. As I said, the medical language, the medical terminology, if you were to explain to a parent counseling, it can give you a plain language bilingual explainer for families. Guideline digest. It can condense long protocols into useful, usable bedside key points. Literature support. If you have to quickly find what the literature says about a particular thing, summarize that information and screen evidence faster. You can do it with these tools, and you have the information and you have the time to utilize it for patient care. You have more time now. Teaching and training. Most of us have trainees with us. You can build cases, quizzes, slides for the trainees using these tools. Decision support. Again, a structural clinical decision support system can be made. There you can make multiple ones for simple things, for more complicated case scenarios. And again, very useful for documentation, for drafting notes, summaries, drafting discharge letters. But of course, it will give you a draft, which you will have to go through and finalize. Now coming to the risks involved. Last but not the least, most important. These platforms can very confidently hallucinate. They can be fluent, but yet be wrong. AI can invent a dose, a fact, a reference that looks completely real, and it will state it with utter total confidence. We have to understand that fluency is not equivalent to accuracy, and the gap between fluency and accuracy is of paramount importance, is of clinical importance when we are dealing with lives. Look at this. This is a fabricated reference. Looks perfect, isn't it? Correct journal. This journal exists. Plausible authors. Real looking pages. But you click on this, the paper does not exist. So what do? We make a habit. We make this a reflex. We internalize these four things, that every time that we are using these tools, we will have these four things checked. Verify every dose against a guideline. You can actually ask the platform that give me the reference to a guideline. It will give you new facts. You click on it, confirm it for yourself before you write a dose finally. Open and read every cited source. Treat the output as a draft, not as a truth. The truth has to be decided by you. So verifying every one of these facts is not an optional caution. It is a non-negotiable cost that you pay for using these tools for your clinical work. Another risk number 2 is bias. The data actually may not reflect your baby where you want to apply this knowledge. And this happens because most of these models are trained in the West on English language data. So their normal may not match our normal for Indian population. So, meaning thereby there may be a population skew. The reference ranges, the disease patterns may be different than what we are seeing in our own unit. There may be a resource mismatch, a suggested investigation, a suggested actually technology may not be available to us in our nurseries. Language and cultural bias. The output that it gives for counseling may not appeal to the sensitivities or sensibilities of our own population. So we have to be cognizant of this fact. And your own safeguard. You are the local expert, which means we are the experts. So whatever is the output, you can adapt it to your own conditions, but do not adopt it blindly. So do adapt, do not adopt blindly is the message. Privacy, of course, this is risk 3. The golden rule is that no names, no hospital numbers, no photographs, no dates that could identify a baby or a family should be typed onto any platform. De-identify all of this before you type. So for safe practices, use age, weight, and problems only. Strip all identifiers before you click any buttons. And you should prefer institute approved tools, because some of the tools, when you buy them, the institutions buy them, there is a condition that none of the data will be utilized by these platforms for learning. And check your local data policy. Rules have been framed even in our country. They were framed in 2023. And I think there is a transition period. They will be implicated or used by 2027. Coming to the cost reality in the end, free tiers are enough to learn and to do real work, whereas there are paid tiers which add deeper reasoning, higher limits, and image features. Of course, they would be useful, but probably not essential to start with. That is all I had to say. I will hand it over to Professor Girish Gupta sir to take it on from here. Thank you so much. Girish Gupta sir to take over from here.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ashish, for doing wonderfully the job. Foundation beautifully laid. Now, just give me a little time. Let me share my slides. Please permit me to share. Yeah. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Good. So all of us are ready now for the next step. And that is the most fundamental of AI process. That what do we expect from AI? We have to be clear in mind and ask very specifically. So what we are going to share in next 15-20 minutes, that how to ask AI. And if you have learned how to ask AI, the entire course will become very, very pleasant and beautiful. And so today, what we are going to share is how to create that prompt beautifully. So now see what ChatGPT has done. I thought, let me ask ChatGPT my course, what I have done with ChatGPT. So today, just I asked ChatGPT, give my background, see how it has beautifully produced, because I asked very specifically. Hope I am audible clearly? Yeah. Okay. So this slide shows that ChatGPT was launched in November 2022. February, it gave the ChatGPT Plus paid version. And I am happy to share, then in the month of March itself, I had my account and also I had subscribed to it. So in nutshell, my journey is not based on any course, on any otherwise a formal learning, but what I'm humbly trying to do is to do it on job. So since March 2023, I've been working on it. And then it has categorized people who joined when. So we come in a category of early adopters of ChatGPT globally. And then what it encouraged us to do, it opened our thought processes, and hence we could come up with neonatology, including perinatology terms. And then whatever we are going to learn today, we could also make an architecture for prompts. And happy to share that till today, which I'll be sharing my ORCID ID too with all of you, that we have more than 50 plus publications on ORCID, which have been done through what we are going to learn today through that platform. As mentioned, the prompt is the most important toolkit for anyone to practice AI. If we ask average questions, you will get average outputs. If you ask good questions, you will have a good output. And if you ask exceptional questions, you will be Einstein. So develop that art and skill by practicing and asking excellent questions. As I talk in general, they never settle for the second best in life. So whatever prompt you write, you get an output, don't settle with that. You say, I'm not happy, improve it. It gives you second output. Again, you say, I'm not happy. It will improve it. That is what our journal editor does, He sends to the reviewers give back remark, then the principal author writes again, re-revise, and more cycles of such revisions take place, the article becomes near perfect. So today what we must learn is the attitude that we must write proper prompt. And when we do revisions, we call it as technically iterations. So we must keep doing iterations. Now, when we create a prompt, we should be clear in mind that should not be just a general language. Just made 6 blocks here. In fact, I have made it 7 once. The latest I also added now. So just here mentioning that you should have a clear goal when you are writing a prompt. You have to give input, data of all varieties. You must assign what role you are asking for as. And most important is the iteration, as I just mentioned. But here 2 components are very, very important, which I put, the safety parameters and human accountability. Now here I wish to give an example. See the left box, which is a casual prompt. And what prompt has been given? What's the dose of adrenaline for a baby? Imagine. Now this prompt can generate pages after pages on adrenaline. Because we have not given weight, we have not given age, route. Therefore, whatever it feels like, it will generate. And hence, we should not have the practice of putting such prompts. And we must change our attitude from today. And which I am showing in the green box on the right, the structured prompt, the same prompt which was on the left side. I've done some little bit of more information I put in that. A term neonate, 3 kg, intravenous adrenaline, dose, route for resuscitation as per NRP, and also flag cautions. Now, obviously, see so many filters I have put. Now, in case of publication or when you see the search the literature, you go to PubMed and you put some keywords. Maybe you will have thousands of references. But the moment you start putting filters, be it period of duration of publication, be it type of article, be it the age group, and as you keep on doing, say, review or meta-analysis, you'll find that your screen articles number will decrease progressively. And at the end, you would be left with most relevant output, which you could use very effectively. So we have to understand that don't be casual when you're asking prompt. You are wasting your time and the platform time. Be precise, think before what you're asking. Now here, I'm showing something which over last year or so, I have developed a prompt architecture. And I've named it as a Girish plus M. Now you see the first three, which are blue colored, it's a task layer where one has to put goal, put input, whatever data is necessary, and the role, be it, see, you're asking as a senior neonatologist or a junior resident or as a nurse or as a father. So very important. So this is a task which we assign to the platform. And then there is a conduct layer. There's the second part that we do iteration. Not happy with first answer. Or we say, put riders, do this, then do this, do this. And this iteration ensures that output is good. But more important, after that comes the safety factor, that whatever is being output which we are expecting, we must put in the prompt safety parameter, the maximum dose, the minimum dose, the toxic dose, the cautions, etc., etc. So that's an important part of content. And most importantly, the last component comes in the top line, that's a human aspect. Never, never, ever trust any output from any of the LLMs. As in the ward, as in the NICU, you get all the data, maybe on telephone. Or when you do sitting rounds, everything is being talked to you. You make your opinion, but still you tell the team, oh, let me come bedside. Let me see myself. And then you find that the diagnosis which was discussed, the actual diagnosis is much far away from that. A baby who was presented as a sick baby, you find, well, it was just a temporal variation in physiological parameters, and you started doing things like that. I give a classical example. Suppose there is a case of congenital lobar emphysema, and if you do not know how to diagnose congenital lobar emphysema, you will easily confuse with the pneumothorax. And hence, the treatment which is invasive for pneumothorax would be done on a congenital lobar emphysema, which is absolutely incorrect. So when you put your layer of experience in human, you say that, no, friend, that is how to differentiate CLE from pneumothorax, and you prevent that. I've emphasized that all whatever 5, 6 things are there, the last thing would be human. You will only clear that because accountability is yours. You are responsible, whatever AI does. You could say that I've taken a help of AI, this and that, but ultimately I'm responsible for its output. So please remember human factor. And then I put plus M, one more, to make it 7, because at times you think that you have considered all possible variables and this prompt becomes appropriate. But then suddenly some more ideas comes, oh, I could have added something in Go, I could have added something in input. So I've added M. M is for miscellaneous. So you can add something here under miscellaneous, and that would ultimately fall in one of the upper 6 classes. But remember of M, it makes this tool open-ended, right? So here I have given the example of M, that how it keeps the other 6 honest without confounding those, because then we don't change every time. Goal, add one more, safety, add one more, etc., etc. But we add many more here. And here I've given an example, for example, input confirm IVH PDA screening before answering, for example. Or give version in Hindi, Gujarati, whatever it is for the family. Or maybe I'm working for a country which cannot afford so much of technology, etc., etc. So whatever is suitable, you can put under M, and it will give you an honest output under the Grish format. Now here I give an example to compare. Though I mentioned in general in the beginning, but here I am becoming a little more specific. So casual prompt, and here I put the prompt first. Tell me about feeding in preterm babies. Oh God. He can write a monogram on this. Forget the answer. Isn't it? So very poor prompt. On the contrary, if you go under the Grish format template, it would specify things like that. Give feeding plan for this baby, bedside format under G. Input, weight, gestation, day, whatever support baby is getting. R, role, you are demanding as what capacity? Maybe as a senior neonatologist. I iterate, flag what I may have missed. You even asking the AI, give me some cautions and modify it. And of course, safety, put contraindications, NEC risk, need for doing any intervention or surgical intervention should not be, etc., etc. And finally, the decision support system, you decide. It suggests, it assists, but human decides. So that's how the difference will come between a casual prompt and under Grish, where we have so many variables to be responded to. Now here it becomes mandatory for me to do some comparison, because even as NNF guidelines, or when we look at generally globally in the world, the race is one of the commonest template which has been talked to about prompt. So then I thought, let me compare race versus Grish M. Now race stands for role, action, C for context, and E for expectation. Simple, 4 variables. And on the other hand, the Grish M, as we have seen, Grish goal, input, role, iterative, safety, and human plus M. Now, when we get the prompt making an output in race, it is simple. So you have a very fast output. While in case of Grish, you have to add so many things. It is built for safety, accountability, clear academic work, maybe for MOU, maybe for collaboration. So it dwells in detail. Now, safety step, which is very, very crucial. Race is not explicit, while Grish is dedicated safety verification number 5. Accountability is, in race, it is implicit, while in the other one, it explicitly tells human ownership H. Is it open-ended race? It has a fixed 4 parts. No. While here we have a full miscellaneous overflow in the field. So therefore, if I summarize here, if you need a quick answer, race is good. But if you want a wonderful answer, which is ready to withstand audit, it could be defended, and it inherently brings the human component, then Grish is the one to be used. Now, you may get a little confused on this slide, though it is basically, I am doing a summary work for Dr. Ashish's presentation. What I have done in this radar diagram, that I put various chat platforms, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, and Grok, and try to superimpose each one over other. And if you see, the Claude, which is brown, stands best for writing and reasoning. So you could have a photo of this, and you take your call for which particular function, which is the best. For example, if I have to generate image, the green one is ChatGPT, but even Gemini does a good image generation. And here I put even my DOI, it is available on the net. So even if you put this DOI, you will have this full article on this. Now here is my job of today's this talk. Here, I have compared various prompts available globally for their architecture. So there are 6 mainstream methods, and then we have tried to compare with Girish. And they are, just to name a few, there are zero, chain of thought, tree of thought, race, self-consistency, RAG, and so on. And if you see, and if I make it simple, in the right figure, you find this brown one is the Grisha's one. It reaches 10 on reproducibility and governance, clinical safety, 9 on reasoning depth. So if you see the area covered, it covers maximum. And hence, you could see yourself, which is better. And again, the DOI is written at the end. It is available to you. You can download it. Now, when to use what, which one to be used. So again, simpler tabular manner to comparing. For immediate and short-term utility, race, quick email, summary, low stakes everyday task. When speed beats depth, you should have just a superficial knowledge, and you have to have a quick answer in the exam or quick dose or whatever. So quick race. But if you want to go to great depth, be it academic or clinical depth, you have to write CDSs. For example, so far I have written about 35 CDSs using Girish protocol. You want to publish or audit. And safety is very important. And ultimately, you are accountable. If you want to practice that, you have the answer in the left block. So, ladies and gentlemen, prompt is the instrument, but you have to fine-tune it. If you want to have great depth, use Girish TM. And if you are looking for speed, you have a short time, this is the answer. Now, I want to give a starter toolkit from today or tomorrow so that you practice it. And it is what are the learning point of today's session, theoretical component. So first of all, think that what all tools you have and how to use them sequentially, which has been discussed very well by Dr. Ashish. So choose your tool. For example, you choose Perplexity or Cloud. So you choose your tool. Or you can use them sequentially. You start one first, and then for iteration, go to the second. Now, having chosen a tool, create your prompt. And if you are in a hurry, low stakes, you could use race. Otherwise, use default Girish M. Whatever output one gets, verify it. Without verification, the hallucination is going to kill today or tomorrow. In fact, when I was writing the first book on AI in neutral practice, and very interestingly, the chapters which I wrote, in the references, my name was written Gupta et al. Imagine what a degree of hallucination. So this one happened. So whatever you write, put it for verification. And I suggest Perplexity is very good for doing a correct citation. And if you want to become even better, or you start your day better, then you start on Consensus AI, which I have not put here. So you took your latest references from there. Just 2 days back, I was conducting a teaching session, and then my fellows had references only till up to, say, end year 2025. But here I see the editor-in-chief sitting and the great people sitting here. They will say, oh, your article has only references till 2025. I said, no, my article should have reference till July 2026. So even you can give iteration command in one of these tools that give me references up to July 2026. And for sure, 2026 should be included. Of course, you will draft better language. and then the output would cover references up to July 2026. Okay. So always verify, and that's where do iteration. And don't forget privacy. So it has been suggested, but be mindful of it. Whatever variables are required to keep your output private, please integrate them. Nobody would like to share data, either your own or your patient's. Data is money, data is everything in today's time. So learn not to share and then have data secrecy. So ladies and gentlemen, AI assess, you decide. First, you must understand what AI can answer appropriately or what it cannot. So just for everything, don't put AI. Having decided you are going to get it answered, choose the right platform. Make a proper prompt on Girish. Verify the answer and do iteration time and again. And then you take a final call for the decision. So dear friends, if I give you an analogy which you will understand much better, that what we have done today, and if I can summarize in that, suppose there is a person or there are people who want to do a 1-year time with neonatology and want to become a good neonatologist. So there are 3 options available to that gentleman or to those people. First, that he goes to a hospital, good hospital, and does senior residency, 1-year program. He will gain experience and will become a good practicing neonatologist. So that's the choice 1 he has. The second choice which I am offering is that he goes to a place which runs a fellowship of neonatology accredited by NNF India. So he undergoes a structured program and clears this. So he becomes an NNF qualified fellow. That's the second choice. The third choice is he goes to a center which has NNF fellowship. But that fellowship program has a senior mentor sitting there. Dr. Saluja is sitting there. Now, what this senior mentor ensures that every day he iterates, तुमने ये ठीक नहीं किया, तुमने वो ठीक नहीं किया, तुमको ऐसा करना चाहिए था, तुमको वैसा करना चाहिए. And then we have exams in between. And in the exams also, I hope all of you will agree that we have theory questions, all right. But the ultimate decision we may take, or we actually take, that how well he is doing when there is a human connect. That's the practical component of the exam. So any program which is a human connect in evaluation is a good program. Any program which is a repeated iteration with a senior human being is a better program. So if I summarize, so 3 programs: 1, SRship; 2, fellowship; 3, fellowship with a mentor who does regular iteration. I've given this analogy to make you understand and to give a last impact that when you write prompt, just a general prompt is like doing SRship. When you write a race-based prompt, it is going through a structured program like NNF fellowship. But once you have a regular iteration with a senior mentor and a human touch involved very seriously and auditing every time, that is like a Girish M prompt of architect. So you take your call. I made you understand in a very simple language that from tomorrow, you should use today's learnings. Take one real task I take every day in the morning. And I ensure that I finish that task on that particular day. Of course, With experience, you will also do that. So I have every day one publication. So you will also do that. But to begin with, take one real task, maybe every week. It could be parent explainer, guideline summary, making a CDSS. Use Grish as prompt, verify it. And then you decide it. Don't take things whatever we talk or preach. So far, we have tried to give you a bird's eye view in a possible, or maybe in whatever best possible manner, an explicit exposition of the prompts which you could use, the architectures. Now it is up to you to practice, generate experience, and have your own deductions. You will do never well in an ICU if you only have data from monitors. But you do exceedingly well when you take data with monitors or from monitors and you watch and supervise. So ladies and gentlemen, see that now the ball is in your court, that on today's knowledge, which is extremely simple, is the time for you to practice and to take you forward from this. I would hand over the session to Dr. Rakesh, who would show whatever I have just talked or we have just talked, how simple it is, enjoy it, and let me also show my outset just to make you confident that whatever we are talking is we are doing. Let me see if my and outset opens. If it opens and if it is visible, then fine. Otherwise, I'll stop it. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. Okay, so just see the outset, and what I'm going to show you the part of presentation and publications.
Sir, I can just still see a PowerPoint presentation and not the outset.
Outset is not visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Achha, all right, just give me a second. Is outset visible?
No, sir.
No. Achha, anyways, since I have completed my presentation, I just want to state, my outset ID is written in the PowerPoint, but what I just want to say that today I have a total of
96.
Yeah, outset is saying, say,
सर आप अपना वो ऑफसेट का स्क्रीन खोल के फिर स्क्रीन शेयर करते हैं सर तब भी दिख जाएगा
188 it is. So today's my publications are 188 on outset. And out of these 188, maybe 60, 70 I have done in last few months using the whatever I have talked today. So ladies and gentlemen, wish you good luck. Dr. Rakesh, please show things in a manner so that our attitudinal change should bring in a behavioral change in all the audiences of today. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So my task is to show you the platforms which are available to us for working. So I'll just share my browser.
Dr. Rakesh, you easily have half an hour.
Okay, sir. Is my browser visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So this is the most popular AI assistant which is ChatGPT by OpenAI. So what I have opened is the interface of ChatGPT. So you can see there is a chat box where you can type your prompt. So in easy language, prompt is the language with which you can speak with the AI tool. On the sidebar, there are new chat where you can type a new chat, search chats which shows you the history which I have. So these are the chats which are will be available. Library is a part where you can upload a file and keeping that file you can create multiple things, and it will always remember what is the context of that file, and you can create say a guideline, a flow chart, clinical questions, quiz questions, or a class. These are multiple things which you can create with the chat box. Library will contain everything which you have created. So these are multiple things which I have uploaded to the chat, and these are all saved in the library. Then there are plugins, codecs for coding, and image generators for generating images. Then there is a GPT prompt where you can create systems like CDSS which can be built into GPT. So GPT is basically you design a prompt, give that prompt, and it will always remember it. So I'll just show you how it works. So let's say we need a summary of a paper. So I will upload one paper here. So this is the AAP paper which we use for treating our jaundiced newborns, and it contains the guidelines which are given by the American Academy of Pediatrics. So I'll just give him a prompt. So the prompt is summarize this research abstract in 5 bullet points. And it is now creating the bulleted points as required. So it has written what is the purpose of this article and the clinical importance that more than 80% of newborns develop jaundice. There are some revisions which it mentions. There are key updates which it mentions, and the scope of the article. So this is how we can upload a total paper and ask it to summarize. So this was a very vaguely written prompt, so the answers are not very exact. So if we give exact prompts what we require, then it will provide with exact things which we are asking it. So the responses you can see are organized in clinical bullets. So you can upload anything like photos, images, voice, follow-up conversations, and it also keeps them in memory. Now, if we see the chat box, there is a microphone button where you can speak to it the prompt, or if you want to converse with it, you can use voice. So it has a voice feature also. So it can turn to conversational AI. You can converse with the AI too. So next tool which I am going to show you is Claude AI. So you see it is very similar. This is a sidebar and this is a prompt area where you can write the prompt. It also shows the various options or upgrades which you can do. I am using the free version currently. So in the sidebar you can see the previous chats, the projects. Projects are similar to ChatGPT. You can upload the file and it will remember the context of the file, and every answer which you ask it to provide will be provided with that particular file. There is this is a special feature of Claude, which is artifacts. So artifacts are the things which are generated as small apps which you can share with others. So like if I click it, I had made a neonatal jaundice teaching plan for my undergraduate medical students, and I can click and share it by sharing the link of this artifact. So artifacts are basically files which you can share. And it is very good at doing coding, maintaining the context in with which we are talking, which ChatGPT is not able to do, and also drafting of manuscripts. So ChatGPT is more of a literary thing, but it can give a very good research format of writing. Here also, we can attach files, we can take a screenshot, and we can add connectors which are like connecting 2 or 3 files together. Also, the Claude platform provides with very natural writing. Like say, I give it a prompt, which is explain neonatal jaundice in simple language for new parents. So it has given me a answer. So what is jaundice? How common it is? What it looks like? Why it usually isn't scary? And when to pay closer attention, the danger signs with the. Now, if we want something else with the same thing, then I have given it a prompt, which is rewrite the A1 explanation in an academic style suitable for undergraduate medical students. Now say the see the tone of the response is changed. So it is now giving us a teaching format file, which is definition and pathophysiology and how it is happening. So it promptly changes the response, remembering the context in which we are talking. Now suppose we again select the same file. And give it a prompt, which is rewrite the summary in the style of a journal editorial. It is now reading the article. So it has generated a editorial review, which is an editorial perspective confronting connectors in the era of refined guidance. And it will give you a very structured and very polished outcome. So now suppose you are doing a post-graduation and you want to write a discussion section for this thesis. So now I have given the prompt, rewrite the summary as a discussion section for a thesis. Now the tone has again changed. He is discussing the article. The findings and recommendations synthesized in this guideline update carry several implications for the clinical management. So the tone has again changed, but the context remains same. So he remembers whatever you have uploaded, and if you change your prompt, it will give revisions according to the prompt. And the outputs will always be very polished. So for a discussion paper, you can see it has given a very good result. Now suppose we are teaching our undergraduate students and we give him a prompt like explain phototherapy. Then it has explained everything about phototherapy. Now suppose we want the same prompt for different people. So I have given rewrite this explanation at 3 different levels: for parents, for MBBS students, and for pediatric residents. Now it has given 3 different contexts in a single prompt. It has given for parents, which using which we can explain the parents. Phototherapy is the spatial blue light treatment kind of thing. For the MBBS student, it has given a definition: what is phototherapy, what is the mechanism of action of phototherapy. And for residents, it has given a bit more depth to whatever the results and output it has produced. So it is more fitting to the resident. So in a single prompt, it has given us 3 different type of responses. So Claude maintains the context and is very good at writing. Now let us move to Perplexity. So Perplexity, as described, will always give you a reference for whatever sentence it is giving output. So let us give it a prompt. Give current WHO guidelines for jaundice. It clearly mentions that WHO does not have a single standalone neonatal jaundice guideline. It is not generating it. It is simply saying it is not available. So this is a prompt where you can find any literature with a citable source. Now the interface looks similar to what we have looked in ChatGPT and Claude. So this is a new chat where you can start. Computer, I don't have access to computer, but you can do projects on computer. So it requires credit. So you can do multiple things on computer which are more complex tasks. Artifacts are similar to what we have seen in Claude. And benefit of using Perplexity is you can change models which are available here. It has Sonar, it has GPT also, it has Gemini also, it has Claude also. Now we again go to the previous prompt. And if we see, it will take us directly to the document which is citable. We had asked him to give the latest guideline on phototherapy given by the World Health Organization. So what is available, it will take it to that space. So it is very good at synthesizing citable literature. So whenever you are doing a literature search, Perplexity is the best agent to be used. If you have found your literature, you can upload all of them in Claude, then you can get a summary. So it is not opening. So let us say I give it a prompt again, ICMR STW on neonatal jaundice. So it has given us the link. It has given a summary what the guideline mentions, and we can directly check if it is speaking the truth, and here it is. This is a citable source and it has correctly linked us with the correct document. Next, let us move to Google Gemini. It is not simply a AI chatbot, but it is an AI assistant which lives in the Google ecosystem. So there are multiple ways. Flash is the fastest of giving response. Pro is where you can do advanced things and coding, and Lite will give you the prompt response. You can generate images here, you can upload files, create files, and you can also ask for summary, whatever large language models can do. So we will be having a better look at Gemini in our subsequent sessions. So let us move to ChatGPT, and see how prompts work. So let's create an image. So the prompt is make an image of a jaundiced neonate to demonstrate Kramer's criteria. So it is creating the image. And let us give the same prompt to Gemini also. So look, so Gemini has created an image which shows a neonate with Kramer's criteria, which we can easily use to train our nurses and students. While ChatGPT has not given, because it is saying that it is violating some of its content policies. So Gemini is very good at generating images. Now let's check our prompts. So this is, so I have uploaded the race format, and on the race format, I am giving a prompt to it, which is act as a neonatologist, write a 150-word parent-friendly explanation of why their 32-week premature baby needs a PAP support, avoid medical jargon, and maintain a warm and reassuring tone. So it has given us a 150 words write-up where we can explain the parents. And if we want, it can also generate in Hindi or translate it in Hindi. Now, what I will do, I have now uploaded the Girish prompting architecture into ChatGPT. And I am asking it to generate the same with Girish architecture. So it has divided everything. And here is the output. Now I will ask which of these versions are better. So for prompt teaching, the first version is better. That is, it is faster. While for governance or more safety, the Girish architecture is better. So both, if the prompt runs on GPT 5.5 or Claude, a simple prompt will give you 8 or 9 or 10 answers. But Girish prompt will give you more consistent result with better readability. So the architecture is already available and you can use it. So these are the basic things which you can do with AI platforms which are available for us through large language models. But I would like to emphasize that if you generate anything which is being used for the patient or explaining the attendance, it bears your signature. So you will be held responsible for whatever the uses limitations are. So every time you use an AI, you need to also check whether it is giving the correct prompt or not, correct output or not. So I'll stop sharing. If you want, sir, to demonstrate anything else.
It's fine. Rakesh, very well done. What I would suggest that can you develop one small CDSS in one of the faster platforms, not Claude, but on ChatGPT? Just ask to develop one CDSS.
Okay, sir.
Clinical decision support system, very small. So people will understand that.
Okay, sir.
I'm sure the organizer will give us 5 minutes more.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir,
Mm.
and also share Girish platform, because one of the question is how do we get the Girish prompt? Like you could put it in the group.
Rakesh, what I suggest
Yes, sir.
that first you put the Grish prompt architecture, let it spell it out, and then give any situation, ask Grish template to generate prompt, and then you copy this prompt and generate an out. Okay, so three
Okay, sir.
steps. So then it will become explicitly clear, so that one is not required even to generate prompt. The Grish template will generate the prompt on the situation which you are giving, and then you fine tune it, and then put that prompt, and you'll have a wonderful outcome.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm uploading the Girish architecture. Then I am also uploading the ICMR STW guidelines. I am telling it to create a prompt for CDSS using the Girish architecture. So the goal is given, and it has given multiple points. It has told us that before making any recommendation, obtain all required inputs. So whenever you are giving incomplete inputs, it will tell you that these inputs are missing. And the inputs are gestational weight, birth weight, current weight, chronological age, then presence of any serious jaundice features, bilirubin, risk factors, laboratory data, current management, discharge planning, and missing data rule. So this is the prompt. So first is role, iterative intelligence. Step 2, the first step, it will be check if all required inputs have been collected. If not, then it will tell you that these inputs are missing. On step 2, it will determine, are there any risk factors? Are there any serious jaundice? It will cross-check the data with the STW. It will perform a self-audit that it has done the correct thing. And it will also give a confidence level of the output. And safety will override all other instructions, so that if there are any red flag signs present, it will tell you that there are red flag signs in this case. So this is a very large prompt which has been created. So I will tell him in a format I can copy to create a GPT. So now I am copying everything.
कौन
Now I'm going to GPTs.
We'll enjoy the raita.
And I will create so this is what I want to create, which is a CDSS system. I have uploaded it. So it says what should I put the name. So it is suggesting me with ICMR neonatal jaundice CDSS. So it is asking for too many things. I have told him to create the CDSS system I want to use. So I am going to preview. Not yet generated. I will check.
Is it the paid version?
This is the Go version. I had one created,
Okay,
but
the
I'm
Go
not able to
version
find.
may not allow share the custom GPT.
Okay. So you will need a pro version for creating, but it can create GPTs which can act as a clinical decision support system. So, sir, if you have, you can show it, sir. Girish, sir.
It's fine. I think we have done a fair amount of job by giving you this knowledge. It is so easy to create CDSS. Okay, once you practice the first time, CDSS may take little time. And when you create on ChatGPT, it's pretty faster. When you go on Claude, it does a tremendous amount of job, but it takes time. So I suggest that all the audience today create one CDSS. Okay, give us a screenshot, we'll iterate you. So the basic point which I want to convey is don't get satisfied whatever it produces. That's the first point. Whatever CDS is good, bad, or very nice, whatever it has created, it's not your final. So put that again to the second platform, ask them to iterate and upgrade it. And there is one question about hallucination. So what I suggest that in your prompt, when you're asking the second platform to reduce hallucination, even in your primary prompt, you can write, there should be minimum hallucinations. Okay? So it will be mindful of it. But once you are doing it reviewed by the other platform, write very clearly the prompt. The hallucination should not be there, should be minimum. So it would do most of the job. But then again, right, in particular, no hallucinations in references. So it will be honest enough. It would say, well, these references we could not check. So there I would suggest that you go to the perplexity and tell perplexity, this is what CDSS is, this is what the references are. Please check for hallucinations, with in particular for references. So it will give its, you will be nearly perfect. So what I would like to state, rather than showing one CDSS creation here, we have given the mantra. So very simple thing is, or maybe you go to Claude, it will take some time to produce CDS, but you're very simple. Define your thing, whatever you want to address, get the Greece template prompt created, or you just feed Greece template in that platform and ask him to produce CDSS. It would produce. But since it is a learning process, I'll go stepwise. The first is what you are interested in. Then go to the Girish, get the prompt created, step 2. Step 3, copy that prompt, give it to the same platform or to the other platform and ask them to create CDSS. It shall produce. Okay, there are no hesitations. It's only a question of a paid version or free version. Since I have a paid version of both, so there is no struggle for me. But please do that way, and you will have your output. Iterate it time and again till you get satisfied. I think I will close the discussion with this remark of mine. Anything more specific, I am ready to answer. Yeah. Dr. Sanjay or somebody you would like to conclude, or anything more you would like to discuss, no problem. I have all my faculty in front.
No, I think most comprehensively covered, and most important that thing that you covered, the prompt is the first language between the AI and you. Unless you talk to it properly, it doesn't respond back. So one of the most of the questions have been, can they have a format of a Girish like format pre-built, which they can use it on ChatGPT or Claude straight away?
Given.
Already posted in the group, sir?
I'll post it to you and then you
Okay.
post it in turn, because I'm not, if you have
Yeah.
made me available, I'll do that.
Yeah, please send it across so that at
Done.
least
Done.
any other questions?
Then there was some question about AI acknowledgement, especially with respect to publishing. Be honest, mention about AI and ask that template itself that how should I acknowledge AI contribution that writing. It will give you very clearly the way should write, disclaimer, acknowledgement, it will give you that. Most of the CDSs have AI acknowledgement. Yeah.
I think Chavi has asked a question. Are there any specific keywords and prompt writing techniques that help minimize AI hallucinations Of course, you set the boundaries for them. Like, can you just elaborate, sir? How do you reduce AI hallucinations?
Perfect. Whatever it is producing, you have written a general prompt. After that, write one clear sentence that this particular CDS should not have any hallucination. Please double check it. Okay. So the outcome would come, still it will have hallucinations. You again iterate it that there are hallucinations. So it will again recheck and correct it. And the best part is do a sequential. Go to the other platform, put that, attach that file to the other platform. It will remove hallucination. It will highlight. So 3-4 times once you do this processing, hallucinations will be near minimum, almost zero. But ultimately you are responsible. But the prompt modification is in the primary prompt itself. Highlight, please double check for hallucination. The other catchword is do a pre-publication check. So that will do a lot of corrections. Okay, the same platform. It will be very meticulous. Okay, yeah.
One of the questions is connectors. In the connectors, basically are the bridges between, say, for example, Claude and your other services like Gmail, Google Calendar, and you probably can just tell Claude, for example, you can access my Gmail and find my vitamin D conference presentation in my drive. So it can connect. So you can connect a service like to the and gives the permission, but then you're giving a permission for the cloud to access your this thing. I think any other questions, if you have, you can directly ask, sir.
The other one was about confidentiality. Okay, so be very mindful of it. You write in the platform itself that how should I maintain confidentiality, my data confidentiality. So there are a lot of things in the setting. Okay, so remove training from that. It would suggest you. So my simple answer is ask the LLM to provide data security and safety. So there are ways and means it would tell. But first, the primary prevention is yours. So do not put anything which is making things overt. Huh? No proper nouns, nothing like that. So go in something common. So that would do the job. And then make temporary files. Okay. And temporary files can also be deleted. Okay. So these are the things which you should follow. And more you will practice, you will come to know your own answers. So we are just trying to give you an attitude of using it. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I had a lot of questions. Sanjay, can I ask?
You're the boss.
God save me.
So in Perplexity and all, whenever files are given, there's something called as markdown files.
Yeah.
So how do you use the markdown files? Because opening them, it just gives simple text, and so anyway, how markdown files can be used?
You ask ChatGPT and Cloud both; they will tell you the way.
Yeah, markdown files actually are like they take a lot of, because whenever you use Claude, for example, and you upload a PDF, it takes a lot of your tokens, say, and whereas you use a markdown files, so you could, it takes much less tokens for you to be taking it. So it's a different format. You can use a Google Docs and then use like download as MD file or MD file. Usually you will not be able to see it on your on a computer because it's not a Word file, but you upload it back, and it is a way to optimize your token files. Like it's easier to like it's a way to format a text.
Yeah.
Okay. There are various specialized apps. So these are all like large language models. There are various specialized apps like Jenny app, and there is one specific for your systematic reviews, Napkin AI like for images, Consensus AI which sir mentioned. So like, is it expected like which ones to kind of subscribe to, which ones not to subscribe to, and because they all get out of kya bolte, like in 6 months they're useless if you don't update, because I used a writing AI app in 2022. It was basically crap. I used a paid version. It was a waste of money completely. So
you give me another talk. I'll make a radar diagram for you and give you the comparison.
So we have another module where we'll be covering which ones to use for especially the research and manuscript writing. So I think we'll be taking it there.
So we'll be covering the consensus as well.
Yeah.
One related question I had was what Dr. Somshekar had put up. Like, can we classify, like in our audience, there would be some fellows, some postgraduates, some practitioners, some academicians. So, can it be classified like if you have more of a clinical question to ask, then it is better? A postgraduate information, this would be better. Is there something like that?
No, see, your question is very valid. All platforms are good, but you must know how to generate your prompt. Now, I have made CDSs on Claude. CDS is a clinical decision, all right? So it is made on Claude and ChatGPT very regularly, I mean. But the point is that I iterate them. I keep them in a clinical setting. And then I ask them to give evidence. I'm not satisfied. I say give better evidence. And then, I keep iterating. So I even have a simple card, suppose for postgraduate examination. Suppose I have a fellowship exam. And one of my dear friend asked a question in the fellowship exam, the midterm exam, types of hallucinations in AI. Okay. Now, question could be of this type. Now, question could be that when we have a case of hypoglycemia, and these are the clinical manifestations, and the baby's sensorium is altered, what could be my diagnostic approach? Now, here, this is an absolutely cross-sectional clinical question. So it would give you some approach. Then you start iterating that. Okay, tell me priority-wise, what would be your consideration? And then you say, these would be your consideration. Which are the important investigation? Give that in priority order. So it would you give you that. After that, you say that, well, give you a differential diagnosis and approach and how to finally come to a most important relevant diagnosis with these investigation results. So what I'm trying to say is that you keep building up these questions and the progress further. But if you do not do this, nothing would happen, whichever platform you use. The bottom line is this, that if you are talking of science and relevance and citation, it is perplexity. That would give you most appropriate within the general platforms. Okay?
Okay, sir.
I think a lot of delegates have asked for GPT for a prompt generator. So there are many of them, but one which I have created, I'm sharing it in the group. It's not based on Girish prompt, but it is on race prompt. So whatever it can be of utility, I'm sharing it in the group where all the delegates are there. And the Girish prompts, this thing will also be shared in the group itself.
One last one is, if we have to purchase one advanced version, then which one should it be? Like sir said, he has two of them who he had purchased. Maybe he could have had more. So, like many are free for use, and all advanced ones are paid. So, do you pay for all, or say at ChatGPT Pro, or Claude advanced version, or so? What is your recommendation?
Amit, my suggestion would be that first one should use the free version. Okay, practice it. You will quickly have their time limitation. Then you start generating its importance, and then subscribe to one or two only, not everything. Okay. So what normally I subscribe to 2 or 3, and I'm being very happy with Claude subscription and ChatGPT subscription. I do Perplexity at times, okay, and even Consensus at times. But I would suggest if you have to subscribe to, my choice would be the first try the free ones. You see your limits, and then you subscribe to one. And then if you are working more and more and you find limitation, even to subscription, even the Claude gets exhausted very fast. Then you have to go for a higher version. So that is for a later time. First, get ready for basics.
Notebook LLM? Notebook LLM, it is also quite.
Yeah.
That is free. That is free.
That is free.
Use free ones first.
I think there will be a separate session on Notebook LLM.
Yeah, we'll be covering it under where we talk about the teaching
What
module.
is unique about Notebook LLM? That it has a separate session, and or is it just another platform like ChatGPT and Claude?
It is quite completely different. It is quite much better. मुझे वो ग्रुप में ऐड कर देना प्लीज, नहीं तो मुझे पता भी नहीं चलेगा लेक्चर्स लोग कब ले रहे हो.
Yes,
I can somebody gets to ask questions. So I have more questions. I don't know. So there are many apps that were there on the phones. Which of them have become useless because of AI? There are many apps like which used to be there. How many of them have? All of them.
Even people have become useless because of AI, let alone the apps.
Also very important for people who are fellows, etc., who are there. Journals have AI detecting apps. So if you write articles using AI, you have to declare how much percentage of AI has been used, what it has been used for, and if it is detected and if you don't declare it, you might be in trouble. So just be careful when you are submitting something using AI. सर गिरी सर आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है which all places have integrated AI into HMIS systems so that things have become automated?
See, it depends on the attitude of the people and the hospitals. People are doing in a smaller way. There is one institute of in Noida, Ghaziabad. So UP government, they are trying to integrate AI in HIMS system. My institution is still not doing well in the sense that we are trying to make it a smart hospital. But what is happening at conceptual level, people talk. But when it comes to a practical integration, we are not interfacing that very well. So I would not be able to give you a national overview on this, but it is.
तो एक हाथ दूसरा मतलब any idea if there have been successful
कोई बताएं
Anyone which has
मेरा
been
अपना पर्सनल नॉलेज नहीं है जो एआई को फुल्ली इंटीग्रेट करके काम
Dr. Harsh is saying something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, basically, it is a final step what you are talking about. It is not that you can do it today. First, understand it, as sir was saying. First, used free models. बहुत सारे मॉडल्स ऐसे हैं, मुझे हो सकता है चैट जीपीटी पसंद आए, आपको क्लोड पसंद आए, and everything has its free part. First, try to use it, play with it, I would say, and the HIS integration part will take at least 1 year from now when you start reading about it. So it's a journey. It's not a tool, like कोई ऐप नहीं है ये कि आपने ऐप डाउनलोड किया एंड यूज करना शुरू कर दिया.
Also, one last question. Is there going to be a session on browser extensions of AI integrated tools into the browser?
Gemini has, sir, I think.
Sir, basically, we have tried to cover the 6 modules which are like for clinical relevance. So, we are not like going into details of each LLM per se, but wherever we are going to talk about its clinical utility, we will definitely talk about that particular mode or that particular LLM. So we maybe in one of the more models where we'll talk about, we can discuss about it as well.
Yeah.
One request that I have been just sent a message to one NNF NeoAI group, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have a group admin rights, so I can't upload. If you want HTML or Grish, so request people if you want my facilitation, give me some access to this.
सर मेरे को ऐड कर दो.
वो मुझे नहीं ऐड किया है, मुझे एडमिन नहीं दिया है अभी.
सर वो उसने अभी ऐड किया है.
Can we have some discussion after each talk? Will it be okay to have 5 minutes discussion after each talk? Like today there were 3, so 5 minutes after each, because in the end, maybe in future can we have some 5-minute discussion, time limited, and
I think we can have 5 minutes and then later on at the end we can have a general discussion.
Yes, general discussion like today. But
well, next time onward, mostly it's going to be like live, so you could interact during that as well.
Just one word I wanted to add, that there has been a study which was published, I think, in June in Nature.
NEJM AI.
Yeah.
This is about usage, comparing the specialized LLM, which deal only with medical information, vis-a-vis frontline LLMs. And it was found that frontline LLMs, not so specialized, actually perform good or even better than even specialized like open evidence. So the reason being that the frontline ones, they get more information, they are more users, and more money is coming into them as compared to specialized medical LLMs. So we have to be aware of the fact that the specialized ones tools, which we think once they come, then we will use them. Probably it is still better to use the frontline ones, they provide much more information in a better way.
Sir, a long time back, there was a Indian AI. I think it was about 2 years back, 2.5 years back. And it is part of, I think, government backed also. Government is a partner in it. Hanuman AI करके कुछ था. Anyone used it, knows it exists, disappeared?
I would love to have something Indian on this because the world is all about AI now, and
Yeah, because Claude
you
was
know,
blocked for most of the countries. It was kept only for the US.
government should invest heavily into
This was backed by Indian government, some funding, and was backed by
some
private players.
funding will not do. Massive
Any,
funding has to be there.
It was backed by private players also.
So
Geo
massive.
has kind of looked at it.
All our data which is there will be going to US and China otherwise. So if we have to do anything, we have to make an indigenous AI.
We might take years to do that. The China is building this Kiwi
DeepSeek.
and
DeepSeek.
Qwen and like much faster, and DeepSeek. DeepSeek is
Yeah.
another we have not covered, but that is like at 1/10 the cost. The cost benefit will make people shift to Chinese AI faster.
Yeah.
Sarvam AI is the same thing as I think Hanuman AI. Something दोनों का कुछ ऐसा ही है.
Sir, Girish Gupta, sir.
Yeah.
So can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, that's a wonderful and plan. So my suggestion is to just put 10 questions in after each session, and we'll answer from some question will be like what is acronym of this Girish, and what is the prompt, what is the thing. So 10 question, and after each question, same day or another next session, we will answer and will promote to become more like students.
I'm in absolute agreement with you. In fact, I've already prepared and sent it to my team, the quizzes. And also I've given a drop down.
Every after.
And I've given a drop down also for the answers as well. So I've taken care of that part. I request the NNF organizers to take care of this. I'm absolutely with you.
सोमशेखर सर, सर्वम हम अपने हॉस्पिटल में अभी हमने वो पेपरलेस किया ना एआई इंटीग्रेट, तो वी आर यूजिंग सर्वम नाउ इन दैट. उसमें वी स्टार्टेड यूजिंग इट. इज एफिशिएंसी इज नॉट ग्रेट, लेकिन इस करके वी जस्ट स्टार्टेड यूजिंग इट.
ओके,
तो लेट्स सी सर अभी क्या उसका रिजल्ट आता है. 1 महीना ही हुआ है शुरू किए हुए. तो
I
वी
think
हैव स्टार्टेड
it is backed by IIT Mumbai if I'm not wrong.
हाँ जी सर.
कहाँ यूज किया है डॉक्टर मोहित आपने अपने हॉस्पिटल में इसको सर्वम?
हाँ सर, अभी हमने पेपरलेस किया ना सब, तो पैड्स पे कर लिया, उसको एआई इंटीग्रेट कर दिया है. तो अभी हमने खाली सर्वम को उसमें इंटीग्रेट करके रिपोर्ट्स एनालिसिस के लिए और डिस्चार्ज समरी जनरेट करके सारे डेटा से उसके लिए.
इज इट कमर्शियली अवेलेबल या कैसे, मतलब कोई का डीलर है तो आप उसका बताइए.
कमर्शियली अवेलेबल है सर. यस सर्वम,
प्लीज भेज देना.
तो अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं सर,
सर्वम नहीं जो आपका HIMS है उसका.
हाँ वो भी सर, वो भी अवेलेबल है सर, कमर्शियली अवेलेबल है. यस सर.
Is it integrated with the HIMS, Dr. Mohit?
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी सर.
Okay, so how you are experience then?
सर अभी शुरू किया है, 15 दिन ही हुए हैं. मीन्स उसको इंटीग्रेट किए हुए 1 महीने से हम ट्रेनिंग पे हैं. ट्रेनिंग पीरियड चालू है अभी. सारे नए 1 जुलाई से हमने सारे नए पेशेंट उस पे लेने शुरू कर दिए हैं. सो अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उससे भी डिस्चार्ज समरी जनरेट कराते हैं, और अपना जो प्रॉम्प्ट बनाया है हमने चैट जीपीटी पे, क्लॉड पे, उससे भी जनरेट करते हैं. क्लॉड से भी और उससे भी करते हैं. वी आर जस्ट कंपेयरिंग कि ये दोनों कैसा आउटपुट देते हैं.
नहीं, पर एक इसमें क्वेरी है, वही सेफ्टी कंसर्न, डाटा सेफ्टी कंसर्न.
हाँ सर,
तो उसमें क्या है, आप कैसे उसको वो करोगे, कंसील कैसे करोगे डाटा को, एनोनिमस कैसे करेंगे अपन?
सर
वो नहीं हो सकता इसमें. वो तो गया पेशेंट के पास जाएगा ही. डिस्चार्ज बनेगा तो मतलब सब वेबसाइट पे सब गया.
नहीं सर, वो जैसे एनालिसिस करेंगे ना, तो अल्टीमेटली
डिस्चार्ज तो गया, बना तो वो गया, मतलब उसमें कुछ वो नहीं है.
डेटा तो जाएगा सर. डेटा
तो सेफ्टी इज मेन कंसर्न. वो डाटा अगेन डाटा इज बीन,
तो वो जो डेटा नहीं छुपाना है, हाइड करना है, पेशेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं जानी, उसका क्या है फिर?
नहीं, इसमें तो
डॉक्टर अमित मेरा कहना यही है कि जैसे इसमें
नहीं, आज ही उसमें बता रहे थे ना कि आप प्रोनाउन मत डालो, ये मत डालो इसके अंदर.
तो वो सर
तो अगर हम एक केस में जो है डाल रहे हैं वहां प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन हर पेशेंट का डिस्चार्ज बन रहा है,
सर डिस्चार्ज
वहां कितनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, मैं सोचता हूँ।
सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि HIS से इंटीग्रेट करके हाउ कैन यू सेव द डाटा, दैट इज मेन इंपॉर्टेंट।
इट कैन नॉट बी सेव्ड।
HIS is the server, so वो तो डिफिकल्ट है, फिर सारा का सारा
हर पेशेंट का गया मतलब
नहीं, वो तो
बाहर।
पेशेंट विल नहीं, we
उसमें
will
क्या है सर,
litigated।
ऐसा
हमने
नहीं है।
हाँ जिस पेशेंट को मैंने उसको प्रॉम्प्ट दे दिया ऑर्डर कि ये कर दे, मैं हर पेशेंट में कर ही रहा हूँ, और मेरा एक एक चीज, एक एक नोट, एक एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन, एक एक नोट उसके अंदर सेव है। तो वो जैसे मैंने उसको इंटीग्रेट करूंगा, वो उसको सबको एक्सेस करेगा और डिस्चार्ज में कन्वर्ट करेगा, तो डाटा तो पूरा ट्रांसफर हो गया, चला गया, ले लिया उसने।
डॉक्टर मोहित, आप अपनी जो वो है ना
नहीं
जिस
होता है, ऐसा
प्रॉब्लम
नहीं होता
वालों
है।
से जो अपन ले
हाँ
रहे
जी,
हैं, उनसे
हाँ
आप
जी सर।
पूछिए, आप
हाँ।
हाउ कैन यू इंश्योर अस टू बी
It is if you take an enterprise value, it gets like, ऐसे तो हम हर कंपनी का नहीं वो ले सकते। It is only when you using it, like when you take an enterprise, जो भी उसका AI होगा, तो वो restricted यूज होता है। मेडिकल यूज के लिए HIPAA compliant ही यूज होता है। बट अगर एज एन इंडिविजुअल आप डाल रहे हो, that is wrong. Like you cannot put the baby of Poonam with the MIS of this thing, and that is fair. But वो जो मोहित का कर रहा है, it is not sending it to ChatGPT. That is like, unless they are using it on a free version or ये using some local version.
नहीं सर, पेड वर्जन है सर्वम का भी,
फिर नहीं जाएगा, फिर नहीं जाएगा।
हाँ
इवन
वो
दो
नहीं, लेकिन उसके
दे
क्लाउड में
क्लेम,
जाएगा सब कुछ,
नहीं सब कुछ
वो
जाएगा।
उसका
डॉक्टर
क्लाउड
संजय,
सिस्टम।
मैं बताऊं इसमें क्या होता है, इवन दो दे क्लेम, दे गिव द डिस्क्लेमर दैट वी विल नॉट टेक दिस डाटा फॉर आवर यूज, बट
ये
आप
हो नहीं सकता इसके अंदर कि ये
देखा तो
जाए
जाएगा
ना,
ही जाएगा।
दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल।
चलो, anyway, that is not the point of discussion here. वो
बट
हम
दैट हैज
गलत
टू बी
गलत चीज पे
नहीं, ये
डिस्कस कर
पॉइंट
रहे
है,
हैं।
क्योंकि आज एक्चुअली लेक्चर में बोला गया आपकी पेशेंट डिस्कशन के लिए मत डालो।
नहीं
हाँ।
अपन
सो पॉइंट इज कि मैं पेशेंट डिस्कशन
डॉक्टर
में
गिरीश गुप्ता सर को कहते हैं,
We
सर
can
यू
we
जस्ट
can do it by creating Olama, and
Correct.
Olama can be
यस
put on your
Correct.
server,
यस
and
Correct.
on that your this thing layer can be created. It is not very difficult.
हाँ, हो जाता
नो
है।
हो
या
जाता है,
either
हाँ।
we have to create our own agent, so that
Yeah,
can
we have to create our own layer, so
own
it will
agent,
be our own layer.
yeah,
So
so
Olama has
that
to
is
be
one
put.
part of
Yeah.
Correct. हाँ।
so after this all data is to be put in our use agent, and then the filter data can be put in the different like server or something।
चलो, let's go to the
Or
question.
de-identified data can be
अंडे
put
का
like
चक्कर है।
1, 2, 3, 4 type, and then you can put it under your server. But it has to on the
I
OpenAI
think
network.
that we are digressing. We are probably not. This is not part of the discussion. Please, like, this is open up a Pandora's box. Like, let's get to the audience questions only. Avneet, if there are any questions, let's go to specific related to this topic, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Satya, I think we can close ना, 8 बजे तक था तो we can
हाँ,
close.
बस
यस
क्लोज
यस
कर दो।
यस।
लास्ट क्वेश्चन, अदरवाइज स्टॉप।
संकल्प ने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, व्हाट इज लामा एंड
देखा था ना ये
दलाई
I think
लामा,
it's a time.
दलाई लामा, दलाई लामा, बिल्कुल।
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are done with most of the questions.
ठीक है
So
जी।
yeah,
यस,
थैंक यू।
ओके,
yeah.
थैंक यू, बाय
Okay, everyone.
बाय
Thank
बाय,
you, Dr.
Thank you
Lagan.
everyone. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so